Well, good day, and welcome back. First video was a fluke, but guess what? Persistence is a great thing to have. Today, this is Mr. Walker Trauma Support Group Management, and today we're going to talk about this self-sabotage. Self-sabotage, I have done it many times in the course of my life, due to relapses and failed relationships, even with my thinking. But today we're going to address it. Today I have a Bible verse, which is in John chapter 10, verse 10, with the 10. With the 10. Amen. Good to have a little joy. Okay. So let's go. Verse 10, chapter 10 says, the thief does not come except to steal, to kill, and destroy. That I have come that they may have life, and that they have it more abundantly. You understand that? So let's go with this. This is really good today. This is really good. Self-sabotage can play a lot in this. So we're going to just look at the definitions of self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is when someone engages in behaviors that hinder. I would like to say that bad energy and the devil hinders their own progress or prevent them from achieving their goals. A lot of times, negativity is something that will really hinder you from seeing the potential of yourself. Addiction, low self-esteem. We're gonna get into all that. I'm jumping ahead, of course, but I just want to focus on the Bible verse. Let's do that. So he says the devil. Bad energy is real. The devil is real, and if you're not careful, that if you're not careful with him, that he can come into your life and still kill and destroy. I have been through that so many times. We have been through that so many times. It's enough. Today is a video today to say enough is enough, and we're going to move forward. If everybody will, just take a deep. I think everybody, let's take a deep breath for a second. One more. All right, great. Now we can move forward. A reason why I do use exercise because sometimes we need to relax. Things in our mind and things how we feel about ourselves, which we're going to get into, can be overwhelming. But let's move forward. All right. So I have common behaviors and common self-sabotaging behaviors. I have some from notes. So we're going to start. One of them is procrastination. Procrastination helps you avoid tasks. A lot of things that you want to put your mind to, and you just put it on the back burner. That's procrastination. Another one is perfectionism. Perfectionism when you really set unrealistic high standards for yourself. Now it's good to have high standards and say I'm going to be the greatest, but what small steps are you taking to be the greatest? Okay, give me an example, Mr. Walker. Like me, I want to be a good motivational speaker, and from a couple of people that watches me, they have gave me tips of what I'm doing and not doing correctly. Even with my voice, I don't have to push as hard or just push like I'm trying to push so much out. So now today, taking my time, I'm using my man voice. I'm not rolling my neck, none of that. I'm being professional, and some things when you want to perfect yourself, you can't take big steps. You have to take the small steps. Another thing that we have on here is negative self-talk. A lot of us, we do this, believe it or not. We talk down upon ourselves, which is not great. It's not good that we do that. I would encourage anybody who's doing that to stop it. It's really not good. It's really not good. While we're in this video, I'm going to check out something right quick. I think that I'm going on my phone here, and I've been saying, "Hey, we're gonna go live. We're gonna go live. We're gonna go live." And I want to check on my phone, and there it is. It says live. I don't know if you can see that too much light, but it says live. Let's see. But it says live. So hello. But it says live. So hello. But it says live. So hello. So I know I've been telling y'all we can go live. We are now officially live. If you want to join me tomorrow at 12, join my class. We can go live. For the one person I think I see there, hey, how you doing? You could chat in the box on the side if you want to say hello to me. I'm working on these things. Work with me right quick. It's a new thing. It's happening today. Great to see you. Let me pin that. And welcome. If you want to go in the sidebar, well, that was me live with myself. That's all right. That's great. So avoid negative self-talking. A lot of things I get on here, I'm like, oh man, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to work this. And how can I do this? How can I work this out? And sometimes you have to take your time and just study and figure out things. And I figured out how to get on here live. If you are being a negative speaker, I'm going to slow down and help you out with something. When you think about yourself negatively, it comes out. You have to pay attention to this. When you think of yourself negatively, it comes out of your mouth. How you feel about a person negatively, it comes out of your mouth. A lot of times when we don't deal with our emotions and our heart issues or our thinking, or sometimes, thank you, Lord, some of the things we be watching, hearing, and talking about or entertaining can affect you as well. So if you have negative self-talk, don't, and listen, I don't know why I'm saying this, but don't call other people and talk negative either. That's, you're feeding, you're breeding negativity. A lot of people, sometimes I get calls and I'll be like, I don't even want to talk no more. Or, I might listen to a person and because of their negativity, it can affect you. So listen, I want to share this. When you're going on a good path, just because you're doing great, you're doing well, don't be you be guarded. Be guarded, guard what you hear, guard what you see, even some of the food you might eat. You might don't want to eat everybody's food. I'm just saying. This is just talking from experience. And sometimes, the devil knows, or good energies, like when, the bad energies try to come back, or the demons try to come back to invade your life. So if you're talking bad about yourself, that's why I say we're going to try something to exercise right now. Let's try this. Say, I will talk good about myself. Just try it. Say, I will talk good about myself. Now you say it. I know you done said it once. Say it again. Now, how does that feel? Do you feel bubbly and happy like I do? Do you feel that joy? Or do you feel like, what am I doing? If you feel that, what am I doing? Why should I do this? Because that's how much negativity you have in you. Because when you're reciprocal to something, if you're reciprocal to positivity, you'll receive positivity. And it's amazing how it is in the world today that people will jump on the negativity more quicker than they will jump into positivity. My pages and my videos is for positivity. It's for you to know that you can change. Understand that you can change. You have to change. There's no doubt about it. If you want to continue to live in a better life or have a better setting about yourself, you have to change. Now, I'm saying you have to change, but all that negative self-talking, a lot of times, we can ask God to forgive us for the word curses, because that's what they are. They're word curses on the power of his mouth. Watch this. Today, this video is going to touch somebody and help them understand that the reason they have so much negativity in their life because they spoke so much negativity. Another thing moving forward is avoiding discomfort, veering from veering from challenges and situations. This is serious. We need to pay attention to this because when you don't want to deal with something, you're gonna deal with it later. Give you an example. If you broke the law and you're on the run, eventually you're gonna get caught. If you hurt somebody in the past, eventually you're gonna have to sit down and deal with them. Either say forgive them, or you forgive them, or they forgive you. Understand that. You know what I'm saying? And we have to really quit avoiding this discomfort. We got to quit avoiding the uncomfortabilities with ourselves so we can start being comfortable with ourselves. That was wonderfully said. Relationship sabotage. Behaviors that damage or undermine your relationship with others. From a personal aspect, I have suffered this. This uh, I have been around people with behaviors that damage or undermine my relationships with others. Um, it's hard to be positive and be in a positive aspect when you have somebody that their energy is trying to overrule who you potentially are. And sometimes do not let this affect you. You keep being positive, you keep being you, and you let your light shine. Misery loves company. And this is to the world. If you're someplace in your life where you see change and people are uh, really damaging your character and undermining your potential of who you are with the relationships of others. Because I'm gonna give you an example. Um, I'm just gonna be personal for a little bit. Sometimes as family members, we can all come together, and like when I was in drugs and addiction, um, that damage and I really undermined my peers because I didn't think they cared about me. So I'm doing this on a personal level. Um, you can damage. Once again, I'm saying that twice because that's what we're doing. We're damaging others and undermining others like they're not important. And then you have other people that you're in a relationship, and because of your opinion about that person, it spreads around and it goes in a circle. Or your behaviors, the way you are, the way you carry yourself, and the way you act, and the way you talk, and how you think, um, it affects you. And then the people that you're dealing with, they might disagree with that. So now you're a character that everybody disagree with. This is personal because I was on drugs. Everybody didn't agree with that. So um, that's a good illustration of relationship sabotage. Sabotage. Excuse me. Substance abuse. This also is a big thing when you're dealing with all these things. Common self sabotage, self procrastination, perfectionism, never cycle to talk, relationship sabotage, substance abuse goes in this. All we're talking about is failure and pain. And we're addressing failure and pain. One of my reasons for substance abuse, I was using drugs or alcohols to cope with life problems. Sometimes some life problems really hurt. If you have nobody to talk to, if you can't deal with the person um, individually, yeah, you can become hurt. And that can be discouraging. I'm not pushing hurt. I just want you to understand that you need to be healed because you need to check that area in your life. Because if you every time you think about a person or you see a person or you're dealing with an experience in your life, and the first thing you run to is that drug, is because you don't want to really deal with what's going on in your life, who you are in your life, and what's happening inside of you at that time. This is very powerful video today because I can feel the warfare, but I plead the blood of Jesus. And this is powerful. My videos are designed to say, hey, you can be free from addiction because I was on addiction. I was using drugs. I was on the street. I was in a toxic relationship. I had Some of my family members really dislike the old me or who I was in the streets, and it's understandable. Um, so instead of coping, let's learn how to deal. Let's start addressing. Start, because guess what? Every time you cope, I'm gonna share this. Every time you feel like you're getting high and stuffing that problem might be going deeper, but it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Sometimes your health can be at stake. Your vision, your hearing, your blood pressure, your body can break out. They have stress. I just found out about stress bumps. You can get them on your hands from stress. And yeah, so if your body's reacting in a certain type of way, or your health is in a bad condition, you might want to get checked, see what's going on with you, and stop using and abusing your problems, and really stop coping and really address the inner issue. The reason why I can able to sit here and talk to you today, because I put my addiction down. I put my addiction, not only my addiction, but my drinking and my excuses for me to do what I want to do to get high, and I'm dealing with myself now. I'm dealing with myself now, and I understand why I got high. There's some people that I want to talk to, or I can't talk to, but they gave me an excuse to go get high because I already had problems. Now I'm dealing with their problems, or dealing with the way they're treating me, damaging my character, or underestimating me for my potential, and that makes you. If anybody does that to you, especially if you're a sensitive person, a kind-hearted person like myself, you can trigger yourself to go back and get high. But today, enough is enough. Enough is enough of the self-sabotage. Enough is enough of the substance abuse. Don't cope anymore. Deal with your problems. Isolation. Withdrawing from social interactions or activities. This is another thing that's really, really tough that can bother you. Um, Being isolated, it's good to have somebody to talk to. Sometimes I tell my family members, or that's all I really talk to, and I share some things with me, and they be like, "Oh, I didn't know that." But that's because when you communicate, you can also let somebody get to know you, but you can also free yourself from your shortcomings, because you can have people that you love that understand you and say, "Hey, you know what? I made this mistake, and or maybe I made a mistake. Can you forgive me? Or I made this mistake, or struggling in this area. Can you help me? This is why isolation is not good." Now, I know here the one of the videos is saying chosen one, you're isolated. It's a balance to that. When you're isolated, you give yourself time to God and self-reflect on yourself. But the balance is to it is, hey, have communication with loved ones, or someone that can support you. I wanted to share that. Poor time management. Sometimes when you have poor time management, you can have missed deadlines, or you can have feelings that's overwhelmed. You can put too much pressure on yourself when you don't have the correct time consuming. If you know you got to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning, don't be up till 2 a.m. and you got to be up at 6 p.m. Excuse me. I got to shake my neck. Excuse me. You understand what I'm saying? So this is good because it keeps you be in order. Do your priorities in order. If you notice, a lot of men a lot of us brothers that's been incarcerated, what we do is we have certain times of the day of what we do. When we get up, we eat our chow, we might do a little workout, read our Bible, go back to sleep. Not even that. We might stay up, work out for a couple hours, read for a couple hours, wait, take a nap till lunch, get up, go to lunch. Some of us might don't eat lunch. We used to fast, what I'm saying? Put the lunch to the side, work out, what I'm saying? Coerce, play checkers, find you a schedule where your time is being occupied and used and consumed in the correct manner. Set realistic goals. Um, don't set them too high with high expectations. Set goals too high or unattainable can lead to frustration. Set goals where you can just start off slow. I'm practicing today how to keep my feet on the floor, how to not talk with my neck doing this, and speak in a calm, slow manner, and not push my voice, but let my voice flow. And I know I have a nice sounding voice. Thank you. It's a little deeper today. I know they're like, yeah, it sounds a little deeper. It's a little deeper today. Um, when you put too much on yourself, you are overwhelmed. This can be a setup to failure. You can fail. I don't want to set you up for failure. So, like I say, little baby steps at a time. All right, moving forward. Um, this is a wonderful question. Why do we self-sabotage? Why do we set ourselves up for failure? Let's look at this. All right, understanding reason behind self-sabotage behaviors will help us break the cycle. Okay. Um, Low self-esteem is one of them. Not worthy of success or happiness, and the fear of being happy is called clarophobia. Excuse me, cherophobia. Okay. Now, cherophobia is really deep. It keeps you from the fear of something bad happening, the fear of not being able to control it, the fear of having to lose something, to lose and not be able to get it back, the fear of being judged negatively by others or yourself for being happy. This is called happy guilt. Now, listen, we're gonna move to the next. Think that trying to be happy is a waste of time. I want to share and emphasize on this just a little bit. Um, Practice to be happy. I was saying in my last video before I made this, the other one, is that if you look where you was, I can sit here and just be happy because what I was in life last week, what I was going through last week, I'm not going through this week. Where I was a year ago, I remember I was in jail when Trump got shot in the ear. I was there. I seen it live on TV. That was last year. Just saying. So, pay attention to how you're thinking and not appreciating things in life, because when you want to be happy, sometimes you can look around and situations um, can depress you. Sometimes you can have conversations with people and they can depress you. Sometimes you can look at your bills or your responsibilities and they can depress you. But I'm not speaking for depression. I'm speaking that, hey, okay, thank God you got bills. Thank God you have a job. Thank God that you got food in your refrigerator. Thank God that you're still living today. Thank God you have family members that care about you. Thank God that you are sober. Just so many things to be appreciative of. And this is not a waste of time, excuse me, to be happy. I do things, I watch and do things to be happy all the time. Sometimes some of my significant others, we might call and we might be on the phone and we're going to talk about some things and laughter. I don't know what it is about my family. They find me funny. And I'm not trying to do nothing but be myself. I'm being myself. I might hype up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I have to tell them, hey, hold on, y'all, let me stay in control. Because if I feel, too antsy, things can trigger me and I don't want to relapse. Sometimes your family members can make you relapse, but that's all right. When you're in happiness, you can address your relapse and say, hey, you know what? Oh, I remember them times, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to talk about it, but I feel my growth because, if I would have, that wrong words you said would have made me upset, or what we're talking about would have made me, you always find an excuse or with other people or their problems, or we point the problem or the finger at other people and make them seem like, oh, you're the reason I'm not happy. But sometimes within yourself and the things that's going on in your mind and your spirit and your soul and your emotions, that's what's keeping you from being happy. That fear. Don't be fearful to be unhappy. Happiness is a wonderful thing. If you want to right now, just think, if you know me, okay, or if you know yourself, let's try this. If you know yourself, right, think about think about some of the stupidest things you done did with somebody that's funny. Like focus on my one of my things I like. I have baby fever and I like watching kids like halfway sleeping, or I like seeing them fight over toys. I love to see babies trying to talk. I love it. I like the I know it's not cool, but I like scare pranks sometimes. You know, I seen this one dude. The dude said, "Mama," and his mama jumped around like that. It was funny. Just I was just saying, "Mama," but what he said, Mr. Walker, find something to focus on to make you happy, and I hope you felt the spirit of joy come through this video today. Another thing that we have is the fear of failure. This can be paralyzing. Also, trauma too. Trauma as well. Past trauma Past traumas can lead to negative self-belief and patterns that sabotage the current relationships or goal. Listen, y'all. I want to emphasize on this too. Whew. Past relationships, past experiences. This is what this page or this channel is made for. Um, you will never experience happiness until you get over past hurts and past relationships and failures of your old goals. I know a lot of us, like me myself, I should have been an NFL player. I'm a triathlon. I could run, I could still jump, do backflips and all that at 47. But imagine if I sat here and focused today what I could have did 30 years, 20 years ago. Um, I won't be making videos. So what you said, Mr. Walker, whatever you lost from a trauma or a failure or fear experience, get over that. Forgive yourself and say, hey, you know what? It happened. Okay, it happened. It's over with. What can I do to better myself from that situation, or what can I do not to go back to that situation? Just like for myself, it's like being incarcerated. What I'm going to do not to go back to that situation. Drugs. What am I going to do not to be back on drugs or toxic relationships? What am I not going to do to go back to those situations? You can fine line yourself. You can put a limit and a new boundary. You can put a new standard, a new quality, and a new boundary with yourself. I'm encouraging you today. If you're suffering from some traumas, sit down, get somebody that you're comfortable with, and really open up and share that you're comfortable with. Now, I ain't tell you go share with everybody, but just find somebody that you're comfortable with and share, to get healed from your traumas. A lot of people that's moving around and walking around right now because they have the personal skeletons in the closet. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. Like I told my brother today, I have no shame in my game. I've been on the street 30 years plus. I'm a giver, not a taker, but at the same time, just saying, there were some things in your lifetime that you have done that can affect you from today, from your own personal traumas, not nobody else's traumas. So think about that. Like I said, and get over your fears of failure. Okay, you messed up. Brush yourself off. Keep going. I made a video before this, and I'm making another one. I failed the first video, but I'm making this video just to share. This is the second video. Excuse me. Learn. Excuse me. Watch this here. Learn behaviors. Growing up in self-sabotage environments or lifestyles that mold you is a big fact of this symptom. A lot of times in life, if you remember, like, oh, your parents used to hype us up, you're like, yeah, we going to the fair. Or yeah, we finna get you some new clothes and new shoes, and boom, you don't get nothing. A lot of us are raised like that. We're raised to say, oh, you know what? If when something going good, get ready. Something bad finna happen. We have to stop that. That is a word curse, and you're self-sabotaging not only yourself but the other people around you. I have done this with myself, where I've been like, okay, I got me a place, but what's about to happen next? Today, I'm gonna teach you, show you something. If things are going good, they can keep going good. Watch this here, because my mind think it and my mouth said it. My mind say, you know what? Things can keep going good. Then my mouth says things can keep going good. And what it does, it just speaks to the atmosphere and I'm trying to teach you how to stop self-sabotaging your own everything. A lot of people, they speak some things into existence, and then when it happens, they're like, "Why did this happen?" Because you have spoken. You didn't speak. You know, I, you want to stay in that relationship forever, or you want the family to come together, or whatever you want to come together. Because a lot of times when you're self-sabotaging something, you're breaking. You're not trying to let something come together. You're not trying to let your life come together. You're not trying to let your mind come together, your feelings, your healing, your emotions, whatever the case may be. You're not letting it come together because you're self-sabotaging. So come to a summary. I have a self-sabotaging summary that I personally wrote for myself and for you guys and women and children as well. Moving forward with self, you can start with self-reflection and be aware of your behaviors and what triggers you off. Okay, get that. So let me start over. Moving forward with yourself. So first of all, you have to address yourself. You can't go out and say, because like right now in my walk in sobriety or in this class of my spirituality, I can't go say, "Hey man, it's your fault that I was doing drugs. It's your fault I'm gonna have it's your." You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't. I would say it's somebody's fault. You do because this is what you do. You do this. What about what you did? What about what you said? What about how you act? You understand what I'm saying? Think about this. When you self-reflect, you don't look at nobody else. I share things with my family, and I tell them I self-reflect all day, every day. And guess what? My boo-boos stink. Some people don't self-reflect, and they don't think they boo-boos stink because they don't self-reflect. What I mean by boo-boo stink is that I know that I have personal issues. And the only reason I know that because I self-reflect. I'm being aware of my behaviors and my triggers. Got to pay attention to that. I'm using wisdom here. Personally, right now where I'm at right now, there's some things, some names you can't say, and there's some things you can't talk about without me getting very irritated. And when I mean irritated, like, hey, that's out my life. I don't want to deal with that. You could be irritated in a healthy manner. You could say, hey, that's toxic. I don't want to talk about that. That's just being aware of your behavior and what triggers you. I'm just saying. That was an example. Challenge negative thoughts. It's a good time to sit down and we're going to do an exercise. Talk with more positive and realistic affirmations. Now, if y'all never seen my videos, I try to tell y'all that, how to speak more positive. Like, hey, like today, I'm going to stop self-sabotaging myself. You can do that. Matter of fact, just go ahead, say it. Let's say it together. I'm going to stop self-sabotaging myself. Okay? And then you have realistic affirmations. The realistic affirmation is, I can change. So let's do this together. Say, I can change. I can change. That's a realistic affirmation. I have been doing these exercises. I do this every day. Sometimes I don't get a pat on the back, or, support. And if I do get that support, which I have from a significant other, which I'll give a little credit, my mother, she helps me with that area of my life. But it also helps me with this, which is going into play. It helps you practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself and acknowledge that everyone makes mistakes. You got to understand something. When you're growing, it's time for you to be nice to yourself. A reason why a lot of times that you're not nice to people because you're not nice to yourself, or you don't think of yourself in a positive, or your energy is just negative, and it's hard for you to be positive with others. I think since I have been growing in these videos, and I have been growing in these videos that I have learned to love myself. When you love yourself, people can hear it. People can hear it through the phone. People, shout out to my brother Rio. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? He came over and visited me the other day, and I could just tell the way my younger brother was looking at me. I could see just he was just taking in the difference. He was really observing his big brother, and he never seen me in this form, like how big I am, and me being calm, me sober. So he came in, and he literally sat there and just watched me like a hawk. And he listened to me talk, and we made when you're dealing with people with realness, and I appreciate you, brother, for this. Any man, a real man, look each other in the eye. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with people that don't make that eye contact. You might want to catch them and say, hey, what's going on? Why we ain't locking in? Well, pretty much 9 times 10, they're hiding or they're saying something about you. And that's incarceration, that's the street, or that's just human being nature. We know that. We know when somebody's talking about us. But that was to get off the curb. But, you know, acknowledge that everyone makes mistakes, okay? So we make mistakes too. So if you do make a mistake, forgive yourself for your mistakes and move forward. Coming to the end of this, if this video is not helping you, if people in your family is helping you, trying to help you and see, and you don't want to address with your family, my last recommendation is really seek professional help. If this is impacting, the word like impacting means really destroying your life, you might want to seek some professional help. You might want to get to a therapist or a life coach. I'm here as a therapist and a life coach. I'm here as an experienced person saying, hey, that you can make that change. But if I'm not good enough, 211, I will push. And I don't have no other facility. Church would be a good place. Bible study, NA meetings, AA meetings, all these places. If you're feeling that bad, like I say, get some professional help. It will really help you. I did it. Before we leave and get off the story, I seek professional help. I didn't just wake up and just say, you know what, I have a problem. My problems was looking me in my face. I was homeless. I was losing valuables. I was skinny. I was smelly. I was doing the same thing every day. And it was getting worse and worse. And you have to look at yourself and say, you know what, I have to stop self-sabotaging my life and get some help and improve. And please get that help. Get this in your mind. Get some help and stop self-sabotaging. And thank you for watching the Rail Walkers Trauma Support Group Management. And you have a nice day.